right. Gotta transition this display. There we go.
Oh, don't worry. We'll just comment it. You guys will figure it out as we go along.
We have
This is
Grace
just,
v. Grace. Grace into Lise.
Yeah. Good Infuriate. Hits the escape whip to tag out as well into their own Lise.
Grace
So,
to Lise. Grace to Lise.
Pretty much mirror swaps here. One manual swap, one more escape whip swap.
It's not an actual mirror match though. They've both had their captains in, but they're not the same captain. Disruption wave. I don't know what's happening at this point.
I don't know what the tidy was for.
It was something.
Expecting something.
Roadkill cheers on. The entire team is happy. Hold on. How much? That's 3. Ah, yes. I guess Tidy was to give Roadkill's Lee sad, not expecting the disruption wave to come in and make everybody sad. Yeah. I do love that their two Lises are just kind of stuck here.
Yeah.
Neither of them wants to budge.
Yeah, neither of them want to switch. Oh wait, I say that and immediately casters.
They both
switch. So
maybe they both realized nothing was happening.
Yeah,
like they weren't gaining battery.
They don't want a boring stream here. They want to get the fight started.
I mean, they also don't want to start tackling each other. Tazu no longer has a necklace, but whoa.
Ooh.
So right up, I believe, is the one that does extra damage when your opponent has feelings.
Yes.
And as we all know, cheerful is a feeling. Sob story.
Oh.
Nope.
Took the time for pop-ups. Okay.
Gretchling is perfectly fine with just like taking the turn off to do pop-ups. Now Roadkill has to sort of consider whether or not the second sob story is worth it, and it doesn't work. Too mad. And I have to imagine that a second sob story now wouldn't work. I'm kind of assuming...
they're gonna probably go for something else.
Yeah, I'm kind of assuming Gretchling tidies. Yep.
He does.
They do not care about Cherry's sob story. Incredible. All right. Just fashion advices the necklace off Lise there. Fireworks finally knocks out Cherry without any sort of sadness, any sort of guilt.
Oh, the Topaz Locket comes through.
Well, we do know that Lise has tidy.
Yeah, she's gonna tidy that up again.
Roadkill even hovers over it like, yep. Here it comes. So...
Ooh.
Roadkill now has to make a play here. The Spike Club is very big.
Does Keiban outspeed this Lise?
I think we determined that Keiban does have a higher base speed. I think by 5.
Yeah. We'll see if there is initiative investment.
Yeah, this scenario came up before. Spike Club did not do enough damage, but also Gretchling opted to tidy instead of fireworks. So Keiban's okay for one more round. And even then, the sadness from the Lise captain still gives Keiban the feelings. Yeah, so...
Yeah, and they could also just sit around for a little bit, too.
Mm-hmm.
They have time.
Switches into Tazu, of course. Takes the hit. Doesn't die, but still does a lot of damage to Tazu. I think Spike Club is still a very good option for Roadkill
Yeah.
here.
They have the outspeed plus, you know, they still have feelings.
No,
so-
I think Tazu outspeeds Keiban.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, then
This was
You might
also
wanna
a scenario that
switch.
happened earlier.
there it
So
is.
she switches out into Lise. Yep, there's the firewall. Lise isn't super phased by that, of course. And Roadkill, I believe, has enough of like threats against Tazu that the extra defense isn't a super big deal. Instead, looks like she wants to try and clear out the pop-ups.
Yeah, that could be a play as well. I think that would actually be relatively nice for the team. Just to clear the pop-ups while you can, see who comes in.
It'd be really funny if Odette also had a Topaz Locket. But probably not. It's probably Balm. Or not. No Balm Locket.
It's not.
Okay. This is an
Maybe it
unknown
is Topaz
factor.
Locket.
Well, it would have procced there.
True. Esther Bombs comes through. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Gonna shut down the heart-to-heart there from Roadkill. I mean, Lise obviously still has Disruption Wave, but this is definitely a tricky situation because this Lise is very close to just tackling. Brings in Clint instead, who gets topple hammered. Excited definitely helps Clint survive that, as well as, of course, the high physical defense. Longsword is pretty good right here. Obviously, like, the damage estimate doesn't take into account unrevealed stats. Flourish Tamper. Whoa.
Well, that's pretty big. So you have to quick foil if you want to get that priority hit. Clutch Pearls coming in as well.
Oh, that's what it was. So at the low health, the Flourish Tamper was free. Gets the dizzy, yeah.
Ah,
Forces the
okay.
quick foil. I almost wonder then if we're going to see a tag out. Yeah, into
Yep.
Grace. Who's fine with wasting a use of quick foil on her.
And a Thorn Pendant.
And Clint has Fury Pendant.
And the Grace is just packing that as well. So, okay.
Clint is in a pretty bad spot here then.
Yeah. He doesn't have speed, so might have to swap again. But I don't know who into because you can't use. Well, you could use Disruption Wave, but you really don't have a lot to.
Right.
Play with
Grace,
here.
Roadkill's own Grace hasn't made a entrance here yet, but I think she just wants to hold on to her as long as possible. Peck is a solid option there that just really helps take care of Lisa, as we've seen already. The emotional defense is a little easier to climb over with a Peck or two. It's hard to tell if Gretchling has many other emotional attacks, or if it's just the Grace. But even then, I think, assuming the Zale has something, it'll be very helpful to just lower the Lise down a bit. Another pack as well.
Yeah. So the pack comes through. Disruption
One-
Wave leaves him at 1 HP.
Perfect. She is alive. I don't think the third pack kills yet. Seems like Roadkill is ready to bring in the Grace because that is very, very careful there.
Yeah, and you'll be able to get it if it's biting, which it should be. Yeah.
Yep.
You get the KO.
She does take care of that Grace herself. That cleanup hit with the biting is very helpful. Now, Grace also still has one cheer stack, so Roadkill can leave her in for like one hit maybe. Gretchling brings in Lise. I'm not sure exactly what Lise can do at the moment. I guess Grace on Roadkill's side doesn't have many great options to straight up kill Lise without burning a flourish maybe.
Yeah.
But I almost wonder if we're just going to see another switch in here from Roadkill to try to predict the fireworks. And Lise takes the fireworks, yep. Neither of them are angry. So we have Elise with low health. But since she's no longer angry, she can take... she has a lot of options with what she moves here. Whether it's cheer, heart to heart. Uses the cheer, but Gretchling brings in Zale, maybe trying to get some emotional damage in. Get that Nightingale damage.
Mm-hmm. Like, keep the pecs rolling and seeing if they could do anything. Even though Grace is already out, like, maybe being able to get something else rolling. Or at least, like, get some extra damage with peck.
There's a Shriek.
The Shriek comes through. Okay.
Shriek Peck takes out Lise finally. No more cheers, no more heart to hearts. And of course, no more disruption waves. That's 2 characters down on Roadkill's side. She still has her captain and still has an entire battery that she has not spent yet.
This man is Clint. Just kind of stuck here.
Clint
can't move first. Gotta be able to get some damage in, but we'll see.
It looks like Clint's had a very good time maybe spinning in a circle a lot. But he's sad, so he also can't get battery. Yeah. I think so. Clint has that one use of quick foil, and Grace being out of the picture makes it much better. But it still seems like, oh nope, just gonna spend it immediately. Yeah, it's like you gotta use it at the right time, and I think that just looked to be the right time there for Roadkill.
Either you use it or lose it at that point, so...
Yeah. Shriek is a very threatening move to have. Luckily, both of Roadkill's remaining characters are pretty emotionally defensive, and...
Oh.
Yeah. And neither of them have their emotional defense reduced at all, I don't think. Brings in Odette. Odette takes the peck. No battery gain, but character is down regardless. Grace is no longer cheery or angry, which is 2 very conflicting feelings. Grace can now do a lullaby, so I don't think Roadkill needs that, but it is a pretty good option.
I think he's just looking at potential just coverage moves, like like Riding Crop could cover a lot. If
yeah. Yeah, Riding Crop definitely takes care of 2 of those characters, and she pretty much just went ahead with it anyways. Mm-hmm. If they switch out, then they take damage, so I guess even if Gretchling switched into Lise, she'd still be able to take out that Lise in the next turn.
Yeah, now we have to see what the option is here. It is Lise.
Heart to heart is always an option.
Uh-huh.
I think the Zale is really troublesome because Keiban cannot handle... Well, assuming Zale has a digital move. But at the same time, don't know if that's going to be important or not. Flourish Riding Crop does not kill the Lise.
Not enough.
Heart to heart evens it out. Wow. 48 to 49. Candy Pearls on the Grace. Riding Crop is online.
Okay.
Still doesn't do enough to Lise.
Still doesn't do enough.
I don't know if... I
don't know if you swap here.
Yeah.
Like, even... You take the L with Keiban.
Nope.
And
Riding
then
Crop.
you'll have enough.
Fireworks.
Fireworks KOs it does.
Yep.
Yeah, now this is tough for Keiban.
Yeah, I don't think Keiban can survive fireworks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, that's gonna be the
Roadkill
gonna be the
concedes.
forfeit. Yeah.
That was game one, right?
That was game one.
Yes.
That was a very long game one. But yeah, it was an interesting match, to be honest. Like, could have really went down to either of them by the time that they got there.
Yeah. That endgame scenario was pretty much a coin flip, just very deftly maneuvered.
Yeah.
So, Roadkill still has her Grace team available, whereas Gretchling has to switch off the Lease team. It seems like Roadkill is considering keeping in the Grace team, especially because like without Lease captain, you don't have to worry as much about losing all the battery you gain. Gretchling brings in Wendell.
Oh, Wendell team. Okay. Double Nightingale and
Lease and Clint.
As well.
Very, very solid team. Seen a lot of similar
Roadkill
variations.
Yeah, Roadkill decides to actually switch up the captain too, so he's gonna go for the Eric. Threatening with that quick foil already.
Yes. This is very similar to the situation her Eric's been in before. She almost is ready to insta-lock the parry fireworks, but reconsiders if there's a safer option. This is, of course, like, if Roadkill loses this, then Gretchling advances, so she is making sure to be careful.
Playing a little bit more reserved, knowing that the tournament run is on the line here.
Right. And Gretchling decided to escape whip with the Clint even, so didn't use up the quick foil use. Jane blocks the fireworks. Scanner on Lease would be big, but there is also a chance that Gretchling has Admire? Oh, wow. Okay.
That was a good call out.
I did not know Gretchling's Lease had Admire. That's incredible. So, yeah, Jane is just gone. And now, yeah, Gretchling is off to a very strong start here. Roadkill still has a battery that she might be able to make use of. She's thinking of it now.
Trying to hit something coming in here.
Gretchling switches into Grace. Grace bites and tanks the Flourish longsword so hard.
Just looking at the options here as well.
Yeah, she decides to longsword. Peck is gonna really kind of whittle down Sayla though. Even though longsword has been doing a pretty decent amount of damage, I don't know if it's enough to like warrant the keeping the Sayla in.
They are trying to keep the damage going through, and they do have Grace later, so we'll see if that. Maybe he's trying to catch somebody on a switch in.
I don't know. I think so. Gretchling survives one hit from this longsword again. I don't know if Gretchling caught that, but that would just get flicker gloved again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either flicker gloved or swapped into Grace if it's biting.
Right. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna see a switch in from Roadkill's Grace. I guess I'd be surprised if Gretchling kept Grace. Yep, okay. Grace is knocked out. The only character that got pecked by Grace was Sayla, which is okay, but it does mean that Gretchling might have some trouble with Grace in the future. I think that's why we're seeing the Lease switch in. Threaten with more fireworks.
Yeah, and they're gonna switch into Tazu just to tank that.
It's definitely interesting how the lucky pendant kind of negates the backlash damage here, but neither of them can still do much to each other. And yes, brings the Clinton against Snacks.
There you go.
So it feels like a scenario that we've seen a lot, and at no point has the Tazu opted to firewall.
Yeah.
I wonder if this were to happen again in like one of the later sets, if the player with Tazu would firewall instead.
Yeah, just to see if they get the damage in and the extra buffs while they can.
There's been a lot of hungry Clints, but he does have Snacks.
He's always got Snacks.
That's my secret. Sayla, I always bring Snacks. So, Lise on Gretchling, I think all of Gretchling's characters have full HP. And of course, Backlash really doesn't do much against that.
Yeah.
If anything, it just gives Gretchling more meter.
Yeah, they're just sitting on that. Okay, so here's the firewall that we were kind of waiting on.
Yeah, it's a similar situation to what happened earlier. Here comes Zale instead. So, one-upping the prediction with another prediction.
Yeah, just gonna tank that hit. Gonna give him the. So yeah, just start the pecs. I see.
Yep.
They wanna make sure that Wendell, if he has to come in his spinny chair, he's ready to get the KO.
Bomb Locket clears that once. Yeah, we haven't seen Zale yet this game come out and like start pecking. So it feels like it's the Rook that has finally been able to escape and is starting to tear up some damage.
Yeah, and the bribe is being shown here.
Yep. Now, here comes Grace, of course. I have to wonder if Gretchling's going to switch out Zale, knowing that he's dead to hunger if Gretchling keeps him in. Nope. Just lets Zale die.
Or also the biting, too. Like,
yeah.
Gave him no chance.
Grace still hasn't had her emotional defense lowered, so I kind of wonder what Gretchling's plan is to deal with that. Both pecs are out of play. I guess there's always Lise.
Yeah, but Lise has to get this KO in order to kind of pave the way for Wendell.
Right.
So we don't know if Gretchling is committing to something bigger. Like maybe they have like more damage and they're willing to flourish to get this KO. But we will see.
Yes, Flourish Fireworks.
Yep, there it is.
Grace is gone. I think Wendell is able to outspeed most other characters, except Sayla is like the remaining problem.
Yeah, with the flicker glove is the only option, but I feel like right now the time is to try to get Lise out of here as quickly as possible, and make sure that Wendell can't build another battery in time. And
Lise
yep,
is
there
down.
it is.
I'm kind of surprised we didn't see the switch into Clint, but maybe that's what Gretchling's doing now. Definitely waiting out the battery on Roadkill side helps so that they don't have... Hopefully they don't have a parry when Wendell comes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we know what this is. He's gonna take the first hit.
This is going to be a Gloam scenario.
Yeah, it's a Gloam Locket scenario. Switch into Clint, and so when Clint goes down, Wendell will go back to full. So,
yeah, this is definitely a pretty strong play you can do with Wendell. Is that like bring Wendell in against somebody who you can one shot, but will also get one shot by. Just lose the Gloam Locket there because you need it now more than ever, and then you can get healed back up to full later.
Yeah, so right now, if I feel like this is a switch into Clint for Gretchling, just
Right.
to guarantee that later down the line, like Wendell does have the HP to come in. But at the same time, if you're Roadkill, you're trying to get a KO as quickly as possible and not really let Wendell, like, not only you don't need to worry about him tying out, but just like not letting him buy turn.
Right. Well, Clint's dead. Wendell's
Clint is
back
dead.
up to full. And I believe that's another battery back in Gretchling's favor, but I'm not certain. We'll see in just a moment, though.
Yeah, that was a KO. I think they were at 4 by the time that they were switching in Clint. So,
No,
oh, no.
they're now at 4. So, yeah, the parry from Roadkill is pretty big here.
It's pretty. That's it, really.
Yeah, that's... There's nothing Gretchling can do about that.
Goes for the fashion device, knows the parry, gets hit,
Yep.
and yeah.
All right. Roadkill takes game 2. And I believe that means we're going to a game 3.
Yep. So. No, what was the captain on that last one?
That was Eric.
Yeah, so no Eric captain, and no, I think, was it Kazu on the first one?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, feels like these games take, like, a long time. We could only take one game at a time.
Yes. Waiting for a player to challenge you back. So we go into game 3. Super exciting.
And once again, the winner of this is going to be facing off against Kang. So, yeah, we've seen them quite a bit.
Right, King has had a very strong run so far. I think only losing to Kaz. And so King's fighting for the run back here. But on the other hand, if whoever wins this can take it over Kang, then we're going to have a really interesting match.
Yeah, if Gretchling wins this, it's a rematch of, I think, semis, right? Of winner semis.
I think so.
Yeah, and if Roadkill comes back, then they've literally gotten their revenge for being knocked down all the way to this to these loser finals, and it's just trying to blaze their way all the way back up to grand finals. So see how it goes.
Yep. Grace, Tazu Captain versus Sayla Captain. And Gretchling Sayla Captain team is on the more offensive side of Sayla. Use that cherry in the back. Double dissident is really funny though. Of course, Jane doesn't care about Eric. Fireworks is perfectly fine here. Jane doesn't have much to deal with Eric direct. The bypass claws actually.
Oh, the bypass claw.
That does way more damage than I thought it would. Unless Eric has some sort of physical investment.
The 1 point in physical investment
Maybe.
might be coming through here. You might also see, just a straight switch. Yeah.
Yep. Cherry doesn't take
but it
bypass
KOs.
claws much better.
Oh, the
Gloam Locket
Locket?
is a thing.
I guess.
I guess
But
now.
brought him down to the Gloam Locket. That's spooky.
I guess now Roadkill has to make the choice whether or not to keep Jane in. Cherry almost certainly one-shots Jane. Pop-ups. Calls out the switch.
Read the switch.
Not even sob story. It's very effective there. Of course, Zale has Disruption Wave.
Yeah.
So she's Roadkill's already in a good position to take care of
It
this.
hits him with the sob story.
Yep. See ya, Zale. You can't peck me.
You knew that he was gonna take that one, so might as well trade it out while you can.
Yep. Disruption Wave
Is
is
that their
also
only
out of the
disruption
picture.
wave, right? Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think there's any more pop-ups on Gretchling's side unless there's a raw like Topaz Locket.
Yeah, on like Odette or something.
Yeah. Here comes Odette. Not the best to have in front of a Sayla, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe was expecting like the Grace or something. Pastor bombs the Sayla. And has apparently enough physical defense to take one longsword hit. That's a pretty high investment, I feel like.
Yeah, it's got to be quite a bit in order to survive a hit like that, but
Yep.
he's gonna tag in.
Now Farron's turn. Much better physical tank here.
Yeah, they can't round end, so they have to manually swap out.
Right. It's also worth noting that Roadkill Sayla doesn't have any sort of stat boosting attacks, and this is underdog Sayla. So, like, Farron has a pretty easy job ahead of him to wall this. Firm handshake.
Okay, so there's a firm handshake. Does he have enough battery to go for the flourish? He doesn't.
Needs one more.
Immediately.
Yeah, Gretchling needs one more battery to get this out. I wonder if Gretchling's going to topple Hammer? Oh!
Oh, he wants for the flourish.
Roadkill goes for the flourish longsword and just goes boop, knocks him out.
Yeah, tells Gretchling's Farron to pack up a bag, move on. But we'll see what they bring in. So the Eric's gonna come in.
At this point, Sayla on Roadkill's side is very scary.
Yes.
Like the Eric,
priority hits and everything.
Yeah, the Eric can't really take the Flicker Glove as much.
Mm-hmm.
And the Odette obviously can't either. Decides to switch out despite the trapped. Just play it safe with the Jane. I think in the end it's okay. Roadkill still has 2 max battery. And Sayla can be better kept in store for later. There's that threatening bypass clause again.
Yeah, we don't know if they have that investment here. So Sayla's coming in. Trying to figure out how much damage they could get in, and
Firewall does a
can't-
huge amount.
yeah, just sitting there with 4 forces the round end this time though. So getting a little bit of HP, clearing up anything else, and getting a full switch.
I think if you're Roadkill, you're kind of worried about the Odette going into the Jane. But I almost think she has too many options available to have like a bad switch in. Like Grace is pretty good to switch in against all of Gretchling's characters here. Even Eric, you can just switch back into Jane. Brings in Sayla against Odette. Good chance to get flickered. Ooh, candy pearls.
So sitting on a little bit of battery, they're both trying to get to that 1 battery number here.
Yeah.
I think the play was to try to see how long you could stall out, maybe get 1 battery up and running, and then since it is Sayla Captain, you want to be able to heal up and continue the game through there. But
right. And Flicker Glove has 15 uses or something.
Yeah,
a really high amount. Rust Spray is not going to remove it. In fact, I think Gretchling might be just double checking things right now. And comes Sayla. Roadkill has Flourish Flicker Glove as an option. Or Flourish Longsword. Really, Flourish anybody. Just tags into Jane instead. Interesting play.
Oh, the Haymaker.
Oh, Thorn Pendant on the Jane. Okay. And now Biting Grace kills Sayla.
Yes.
Or just
not
Fury
even,
Pendant.
just Fury Pendant.
Wow. Okay. Okay then. Yeah, Jane just knocked out Sayla.
Yeah, and they didn't have enough time to get that battery up. So
Right. Gretchling brings in Eric. Has one full battery now due to deaths. But Roadkill also has a battery. With Jane at such low health, I almost wonder if it's a sacrifice play here. Oh, but yeah, Tazu exists.
yeah, Tazu just comes in, I feel. Okay, goes for the bypass claw here. He had to use it. Gets tagged up by Thorn Pendant.
Yeah. Eric is back to full, but without much of a escape method here.
And no battery to play with either. So this might actually, we don't know if, is it Eric Gloam Locket here?
I don't remember if we've seen the locket yet.
Yeah, so if it's Gloam Locket, this was actually just a big play. It'll bring him all the way back up. Yes, it is. So
Roadkill still has Grace, though.
yeah, he's gonna be able to at least get a pick here. Yeah, and if Grace comes in with biting, that's it. And I don't see why not. Yeah, just click the button.
Here comes Grace. Sorry about your locket, but you are locked out. Roadkill 2-1 this match. Takes the win over Gretchling. Very, very solid play.